courts are continuing to find in favor of complainants in hate speech cases. Just last week, the Equality Court in Johannesburg sent a strong message that hate speech will not be tolerated. It ruled in favor of the Chinese association in the country that had filed a case against 12 respondents. They posted racial slurs on Facebook pages of the investigative television show Carte Blanche and the Karoo Donkey Sanctuary. Let's discuss the significance of this court ruling. I'm joined now by the chairperson of the Chinese Association in South Africa, Erwin Pon. Mr. Pon, good afternoon. Welcome to today. Thank you very much for your time. Firstly, an overriding question. What is the significance of this hate speech ruling in your favor?
Good afternoon, and thank you very much for having me. So I think the significance of this is that it's historic for the Chinese community. You know, the Chinese community, given the history, we've been here for many decades, and you know, some history even see it first Chinese arriving in the 400 years ago. The Chinese have never stood up and really made their voices heard. I think it's historic for our community because we finally did stand up against this, the vitriol against all these horrible words that were said against us. And for our community, it was really a day of dignity. Our dignity was restored, whereby we could hang our heads up and stand our heads up proud and say that we actually are part of South Africa and that we deserve our dignity like any other community for that matter. So it was a landmark ruling for us, landmark ruling in terms of hate speech, and we were able to highlight the history that Chinese actually have been here for many generations. To further highlight the significance in terms of the community, you know, if you just look at the amount of people that came to the court, from little children, parents would bring their little kids to the court, and I overheard the one parent saying to the child, you know, pointing at ourselves and the lawyers and saying that those are the heroes of our community. Just because that just highlights then the impact that this has on our community.
Okay.
And the oldest person we had there was 109 years old, my grand, who came every single day to the court and for the ruling as well, and just shows you how much this means for our community.
You've expressed the significance quite well. Just remind our viewers, what was this case really about? I understand it's been going on between 3 and 5 years?
Yeah, so the case actually started originally 5 years ago when these respondents put this hate speech on the Facebook posts and social media. And it was really dehumanizing the Chinese people. Words such as barbaric and even more violent in terms of trying to harm and kill our children, and words such as wipe them out, and those such hate was spread online there. So we decided that, and it was hundreds of comments. Eventually, there were 12 respondents that we were able to take to court, but we needed to get our voice out there and make our voice heard, because too long have we just suffered silently.
Okay, so it's a significant historical hate speech victory for you. Judge Motsamai Makume, when he made the ruling, I understand he said that this matter is about words, and he quoted the chairperson of the South African Human Rights Commission, who said words convey meaning and do cause hurt and injury. Are you satisfied with the sentence that these 12 respondents were handed down by the Equality Court in this matter?
Absolutely. I think it does give a message out there and does send a message there that words do mean things, and words have implications and can create actions. For example, the incitement of violence, calling on the killing of our children. If those words now are carried forward, we do not want to see harm against our children. So words definitely do mean a lot of things. And the sentence that were given were harsh in terms of monetary as well as community service. So, and they would be given back to the communities in terms of the Chinese old age home and community service in terms of trying to understand what hate speech is and trying to limit the amount of hate speech on social media, etc. So I do think that it does send a very strong message out there to the people that would be these keyboard warriors who do not think twice before posting any of these hateful comments online.
I know your main objective was to make sure that you restore and protect the dignity of the Chinese community in South Africa, but there's been some monetary orders here that have been made for the benefit of the home of the aged, as you said. For example, one of the respondents, the judge said they must pay 150,000 rand, and the others were going to be supposed to donate or pay 50,000 rand each. Is that enough?
You know, I think a lot about this is also about reconciliation, to be honest with you. It was what we call restorative justice. It is for people and for those respondents to also understand the hurt and harm that they have created to our community, and for that matter to any other communities that feel the full impact of hate speech. And so it's about reconciliation. It's not about getting even as such. It is, though, about sending a strong message to those so that they do not do it again. But, you know, we want to live in harmony with other South African communities. It's about creating this common understanding. So I hope we can use this and move forward and reconcile and really create a better future for our communities as well as many of those out there.
So is this the end of the case? Are there any outstanding issues coming out of the judgment of the Equality Court in Johannesburg in this matter, or this is it now?
So we are in our discussions with our legal representatives. There was one of the respondents that was found not guilty. One of his comments was wipe them out. I'd be the first to be there. The judge found that he wasn't referring to the Chinese specifically. It's not our view, but we will be discussing with our legal representative as to further action around that.
So there could be possible further legal action that you will take against this individual?
We won't say that there isn't. We won't say that there is. I think I'll have to chat with our legal representatives and find out what it is that we are able to do against this individual. Our belief is when he said they wipe them out, he was referring to the Chinese people because all comments before him and after that referred to them as the Chinese people. So they could be, but I do need to take further comments and advice from our legal representatives.
Okay, finally, Mr. Pon, you said this case was also about reconciliation. What will your association be doing going forward to make sure that there is better understanding and awareness of the fact that you've mentioned that the Chinese South Africans have been here for hundreds of years, several hundreds of years, and that they're part of society?
Absolutely. I think there's a lot to be done. So I don't think we should to stand on our laurels here, and we need to move forward. So we will do a lot more events whereby we can invite people to attend the Chinese celebrations and get a better understanding of our culture, of who we are. I think we're doing a lot more work as well. And I must add here that we have had fantastic and overwhelming support from other non-Chinese communities in South Africa that have heard about this case and have really come out and supported us. So we're very, very grateful for them. And we will continue to work closely with them so that more people get to see the Chinese in communities doing good, helping out. And we must continue this if we really want more people to understand us and for us to also engage and really, you know, be more part of South African society as a whole.
Thank you very much, Mr. Erwin Pon, the chairperson of the Chinese Association, just giving us his reaction after what they regard as a significantly historic ruling by the Equality Court in Johannesburg against hate speech. 12 respondents were involved, and the judge finding that they were all guilty of hate speech, and unfair discrimination against the Chinese community.